Hello, beautiful peaches. Welcome to the Macros, Metabolism, and Motivation Beautiful Peach podcast. I'm your host, Caitlen, here to help you find your most unwavering love, beauty, and kindness for yourself inside and out. I will be teaching you nutrition and macro tracking secrets, reverse diet and metabolism health tips and tricks, and motivating the heck out of you so you want to leap up and start conquering your goals right away. I am here to help bring you the light at the end of the tunnel so you can discover that self-love and truly become the most confident, beautiful peach possible. So grab a pen and a piece of paper, or if you're in the car at the gym, go ahead and bump up your volume just a little so we can drown out those gym grunters next to you, and we can go ahead and dive right in. Don't forget to snag your completely free high-protein macro cookbook by simply doing a 5-star rate and review on this podcast. All you need to do is submit a 5-star rate and review, then send us your name and email through the link in the show notes so we know exactly where to send your cookbook. By submitting your 5-star rate review, this will also automatically enter you into the weekly podcast macro calculator giveaway. Every week, I give away a copy of my See You Schmidt macro calculator to one lovely winner who leaves an awesome 5-star rate and review. This winner is announced every week on my Instagram story as well as my newsletter email list. So leave that 5-star rate and review, and I'll see you in the episode. What is up, my beautiful, beautiful peach? Today, we are going to be talking about how the fears of failure, decision paralysis, overthinking can all hinder your fat loss progress. I don't know why I said progress that way, but I did, so we are rolling with it. We're just going to roll with that one. If you are somebody who has ever felt like a failure after falling off the wagon in the past, currently, with a diet, and you find yourself not being able to, number one, keep up with the restriction. You struggle to stay on track when eating out. The weekends completely derail you. And you are just in this place where you're like, I can't trust myself anymore. I don't trust myself to follow through. And you're just like, I'm just going to accept that I'm a failure. This is it. This is it for me. If you resonate with that and you've had those feelings of failure, this episode's going to be for you because I have felt the feelings of failure so incredibly deeply, and it's not a fun place to be. And so now being on the other side, and I still fail. We are meant to fail in life. There are going to be so many different places that we fail. And also I have some ways for you to think about this differently and to look at that failure differently so we can really take a step forward and make sure that we are not hindering your fat loss. So without further ado, let's get into podcast episode. I already forgot what number we're on. I think it's 107. Your fear of failure is hindering your fat loss journey. I used to believe that when I failed, whether that was a diet, whether that was an exam back in college, whatever it may be. Actually, that one might be a different scenario. So let's stick with just the diet. I used to believe that when I failed a diet, that I was the problem. And 80% of women that I talk to, their biggest fear outside of weight regain, if they are doing a reverse diet. And I have an episode coming up on that one in the future in a couple weeks. I believe it's in 2 weeks. It might be next week. So make sure that you are saving my podcast or following my podcast so you don't miss out on those. I also actually send out a note every single week to my newsletter email list. So make sure you are on that if you don't want to miss out. Sorry, I had that thought and I was like, you know what? I think I need to tell her now. Tell my little beautiful peach here. So 80% of the women who I talk to, their biggest fear is that they will not be able to follow through and they do not trust themselves, okay? And I want to do a little personal example on this because I have been in that place and I have felt those feelings. And it really goes back to before I started tracking my macros. I was doing all of the diets that you can think of. And you might really resonate with this. You might be like, I'm doing all the diets too. Let's hear them, Caitlen. So I tried low carb, which is keto. And I felt so wildly restricted. It is very low carb, okay? Very, very unhealthily low carb. And I was so wildly restricted. I was eating like a half of a packet, no, not even like a fourth of a packet in a little packets of oats. The maple and brown sugar still stands to this day as my favorite one. We just went to Costco and I bought a big pack and I'm so excited. But a fourth of a packet of oatmeal, right? You're eating like 10 grams of oatmeal and it's like, all right, this is my carbs for the day. And I would fall off track, if not every day, every few days, because it was not sustainable to me. But I kept thinking, I didn't realize that. And I kept thinking, why am I falling off track? So many people, quote unquote, they say they're having success. Are they really? Probably not. Or they're also literally living a miserable life. But I kept thinking it shouldn't be this hard. It should not be this hard to see results. It shouldn't. It really, really shouldn't. I would finally give up and I moved on to the next diet. Okay. Here comes Whole30. I was like, all right, I can do this. I can eat the carbs. I've got this. 10 days in, guess what happened? I am restricted. Not only do I have to stick to a certain list of foods, I am having good food and bad food thoughts. I am binge eating. I am in this place where I just had one bite of the quote unquote bad food, leading me to feel, okay, I'm already off track. Might as well keep going. The binge starts and then bam, just like that, I'm off track thinking that I have to start over again and again and again. In my mind, I'm thinking, how did I possibly fail Whole30? How did that happen? Am I really that incapable of success that I'm going to fail Whole30? Do I really just not have enough willpower? If you are somebody who does stress over not having enough willpower, I'm telling you right here and now, willpower is not going to help you lose weight. Go listen to episode 99. I think it quite truly is labeled, Your Willpower Will Not Help You Lose Weight, episode 99. But my point with this episode is I went through a variety of diets, okay? And the low-fat diets, the Noom type diets, there's like a glow low or low glow or some new diet out there. And I'm like, oh gosh, make it stop. Make it stop. Just like the overall calorie deficits. I even tried macros, but I was so incredibly restricted and in a bad place mentally that I couldn't even get past tracking macros in a healthy way. I was stuck in this good food, bad food space, and I was just pushing myself farther and farther into the diet mentality without even realizing how far down that path I was. The good food and the bad food, the endless restrict binge, saying no to social things. It was to the point where I would have an internal debate for hours on end over one of those little tiny Hershey's Kisses or a little Hershey square, right? I would have massive internal debates because I was so stuck in this diet mentality, this diet world, and it was wild, right? And you may really, really resonate with that. So finally, I decided I'm just going to eat healthy. Screw that. I'm just going to eat healthy. That should be easy enough. I got this. Guess what? I failed at eating healthy. Why? Because I was quote unquote eating healthy, but that was still restrictive. I had my good food, bad food list of what was healthy and what wasn't healthy. I was binging. I could not stop binge eating. I couldn't just enjoy the chocolate croissant and not move on from it or move on from it. I couldn't move on from it because in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is not healthy. I'm getting off track. And I was saying no to eating out with friends. I would basically, if I would end up going out to eat with them, I would order the salad, no cheese, no dressing, right? Because my low-fat era taught me that should be quote unquote bad. No croutons. My low carb era taught me carbs are a no-no. So now I'm literally just pulling different diet mindsets from different diets and creating my own list of good foods and bad foods and all my own list for these things, okay? And I'm basically left with lettuce. That's all I'm eating, lettuce. And so naturally, I go home and I binge anyway. And I would think, what is wrong with me? How in the heck did I get here? And I think what's really important to note is I absolutely get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And please know, if you are having those feelings, take myself, but also the hundreds of women who I have worked with over the past 7, 8 years, however long I've been coaching, who have had the same place, who have been in the same place, and you get to step up and you can see those changes, okay? And I've done a lot of personal growth over the years. And I think, one of my friends, actually, one of my entrepreneur friends, her podcast is Fail to Win. And when she shared that she was changing her podcast to Fail to Win, I was like, oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. And it resonates with me on so many different levels outside of just our health, right? Our relationships, our work, yes, also our health. But when you think about it, we fail to win. Our relationships, some do fail, but then you learn what you do and don't want in a partner, right? Work, sure, you're going to fail, but you're learning in those scenarios. If you just started in a job and you're absolutely perfect, that's not realistic. You're going to fail and you're going to learn how to navigate those situations, how to do whatever it may be, right? Our health, you have done all the diets and you have quote unquote, you failed those diets, even though it's really the diet's failing you. You can't just give up and, throw in the towel. You get to see those failures as lessons, and we get to fail because it's leading us to winning and it's leading us to the long-term changes, okay? I think one of the really most wonderful things that I learned in my own personal journey is that I am not the problem. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that I'm not the problem, period, end of story. Like, hi, yes, it's me, I'm the problem. It's me. We're a little Taylor Swift here. My point here is when it comes to dieting and it comes to really thinking through the way that dieting works, dieting is going to create a failure. You're not a failure when you are dieting. If you are not showing up, if you are not putting your foot forward, if you're not going out there to make those changes, that's when it's like you're not failing. You're not actually failing, but I would still recommend, taking that leap forward so you can potentially fail and then you can learn from there. And I think what's important is, in the diet world, in the diet industry, I am not the problem. I'm learning to trust myself. What happened basically when I stopped dieting and I started going into a sustainable lifestyle of tracking macros the right way, of finding a game plan that fit naturally into my personal life, that fit naturally to me, that was customized to me, which is also why now I structure all of my courses, all of my coaching around my signature framework, which is sustainable, maintainable, educational, and enjoyable. If you go listen to podcast episode 95, I think I have the title here, Client Case Study Eating 780 More Calories Without Weight Regain. I walk through that framework so you can follow that framework as well. And then I also go over a client case study, one of my clients in BPM. And I get this question all the time, like, Caitlen, it looks like you only work with younger women. No. I work with women I've worked with many, many women in their 60s, in their 70s. I work with all ages, okay? Total random note there for you. But what's really, 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 really important is we want to create systems for the goals that we want to accomplish. And it's so funny because I just have started reading Atomic Habits. Again, I've started and stopped reading that so many times, I will fully admit, and I finally downloaded it on Audible, and I heard it, and it was saying, creating systems for your goals. And I'm like, oh, this is a heck yes moment, because I preach that we need a game plan that fits our life in order to see the long-term changes. And Atomic Habits says we need a system to fit our life. And I was like, are we the same person? I can't remember who wrote Atomic Habits, but I was like, I am here for this. And this is exactly why diets do not work and why it creates this, oh, I'm a failure. Oh, I can't trust myself. Oh, this isn't meant for me mindset. When we're following the diet system, it's no carbs, no fat, no sugar, only eat these 30 foods, do this, do that. And not a single one of those is actually sustainable. And also they're not catering to you. So what happens is it's inevitable that you are going to stop with the diet because it's completely changing your life to try and fit into the diet box. You are removing the things that are making you happy. You are 100% of the time when dieting restricting your body and the nutrients, right? And you can't lose weight. And so the problem is you have been withholding nutrients from your body. The problem is not you. The problem is the dieting, okay? And I have a really good example for this. I recently became an aunt, which is so much fun. Do I have baby fever? Yes, I do. But I recently became an aunt. My sister has taken absolutely incredible care of her body before, during, and now after her pregnancy, which is incredible. And I aspire to be like her, okay? And this is also, I work with so many clients who are wanting to get pregnant and they are like, hey, I want to reverse diet. I want to get my body in a really, really great place. I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. Let's rock and roll, my gal pal. And the thing though, is it really got me thinking because I have so many clients who come to me, right? Wanting to get healthy, to have a healthy pregnancy, or after the pregnancy, they've gained weight and they're like, hey, I really want to get back into this place where I'm feeling good. One of my clients in BPM actually just said, she was like, hey, it's so crazy. And I talk about this in a lot of my episodes, but her weight is in the same weight range, but she just put on a pair of pants and she's like, these are really big on me. And there's such a big difference between weight loss and fat loss. And I believe I go into that into next, a little bit more in next week's episode. And I believe I have a past episode. I can't remember which number it is. So go take a peek at my past episodes talking through the difference between weight loss, like true fat loss versus weight loss. Point being is, she wanted to feel absolutely amazing after her pregnancy. And she was like, this is absolutely incredible. Hey, beautiful peach. Is your slow metabolism causing your fat loss plateau? Do you want your own custom metabolism health report so you can ditch the, do I actually have a slow metabolism guessing game? I got you. I have been working hard on a totally free, 100% free metabolism health calculator and mini course that is for women who are ready to end that fat loss guessing game and actually lose weight without cutting a single food they love. This free metabolism report isn't just information. It's a mini course loaded with actionable steps and science-backed knowledge to help you pinpoint the exact number of where your metabolism sits, the exact calorie goal of where your metabolism needs to be, and if you need a reverse diet, or if you can just jump right into the calorie deficit. Take your life back from the diet industry with this customizable template that calculates your individual metabolic health data, revealing the exact health score of your metabolism. You can grab this totally free course by going to my website, www.cschmidt.fit/metabolism report. You can also grab it directly from the show notes. And last but not least, if you're on Instagram, you can go ahead and send me the DM metabolism report and I can send you the link directly. I truly am so gosh darn excited about this metabolism report and mini course, and I cannot wait for you to nerd out with me. So please go grab it and enjoy the rest of the episode. But here's the thing. Why is it that when a mom is pregnant or nursing, okay, or before, they want to fuel their body best, but outside of that, many times they don't necessarily do that, right? They're restricting their body. They're in these mass calorie deficits. And I was really thinking about this because I was like, I've never actually sat down and thought about this. I mean, I have so many clients who want to get healthy, who have been in a place and they're just like, how did I get here? Pregnant, not pregnant, baby's out of the picture. They're just like, how did I get here? And they want to fix the situation that they're in, okay? Then I have the clients who are proactive and who are like, hey, I don't want to be in that situation yet. Let's go ahead and get things fixed now. So why is it that nursing moms, pregnant moms, fuel their body their best? She has a beautiful, beautiful baby that she wants to take care of, to nurture, and to grow. She's taking care of something else, somebody else, okay? She would never try and hold back on feeding the baby. She's going to nurture. She's going to feed that baby. She's going to take care of it. So why don't you treat yourself the same? Why don't you nurture your body and yourself, babies aside, right? And the answer really comes back to the diet world and the diet mindset. It really, really, really does. We are so trained to be fearful of eating the bad food, and we have to eat the good food. We're trained to be fearful of eating more food, and we think that we're failing and it's because of us. And you beautiful human, listen, you're not failing. And instead of my really big mindset tweak here for you that I want to challenge you to listen to is, instead of fearing failure, instead of fearing how you're going to feel because you felt that failure in the past, I would highly suggest invest in the program, in the coach, whether that's me. Hey, hi, it's me. I have beautiful peach mastermind spots open, right? Invest in something that you know is going to lead you to a sustainable change. Recognize that those failures that you have had in the past are good things, because we fail to win, aka my friend's podcast name. I love it. She's a business entrepreneur, so she's in business world, but I love the name of that. Recognize that the failures are a good thing. Look at them as learning lessons, and we get to fail so we can actually change and go in the right direction, okay? And coming back to kind of, the main things we feel like we're feeling because we're falling off the wagon, we can't keep up with the restriction, we struggle to stay on track when eating out, weekends completely derail us. So that really solely means that those are the pieces that you get to work on to learn how to go about the weekends without getting, feeling completely off track and derailing your progress. You get to learn to eat out. You get to learn to have the fun drinks. You get to learn to eat the burger and be right on track, okay? And you get to really, really stop hiding from your own success. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You get to get out of your own way. You get to look at that failure as a good thing. And it really comes back to how your failure is hindering your fat loss progress. If we're sitting here trying to scroll back into my notes, I'm like completely lost here, but I'm just kind of, I always do this. I'm like always, I have action steps here and I want to go find them. But if we're so hyper focused on our failure that we're not allowing ourselves to actually take a step out of the diet world, we will continue to fail and we will not win. You start to win when you look at those failures. And even if you have to look at it in like an outside perspective, write down all the diets that you have done. And this is kind of an action step here, and you can pause the episode if you need to. Write down all of the diets that you have done and actually start to look at them from an outsider's perspective and kind of take them apart and say, hey, okay, so I've got keto, or I've done keto. And it was what part of your diet journey? What happened in that journey? Did you start binge eating then? Did you... Maybe that's when you started considering carbs as a bad food. What diet mentality did you pick up when you did keto? Okay. Then I want you to write down, did you see yourself as a failure? Or maybe you just saw keto as, hey, keto failed you. And that's awesome. Go you if you saw that it wasn't you, it was keto. Are you scared to fail again? And if you knew that you would have success, what is it that you would take action on? If you knew 110% that you would have success, what would you take action on? Would you join the program that you knew would help you? Cough, cough, hint, hint, BPM. Would you stop making excuses that you don't have enough time and just start? Will you stop self-sabotaging? Will you stop pretending that you don't need help? And a lot of these are kind of like, ooh, like a gut punch there. But I think what's important to note is I say these things because I've had those feelings and those thoughts in the past. And I think what's important is, number one, knowing that you're not alone. I have been in your shoes. All of my clients have been in your shoes. Thousands of women who are listening have been in your shoes. Number two, you are not behind. You are right on time. You are right on time. Those failures 10 years ago, when you first started dieting, you might not have been in the self-awareness place. You might not have been in the correct mindset. You might not have been in the correct phase of your life where you are ready to accept and ready to step into this next chapter of success. And you are now, and that's amazing. So you're not behind. You are right on time. Start looking at failure as a way to get us to winning, okay? It will help us really push forward and start to actually see those results when we stop the dieting, because it allows us to start to succeed when we're finding something that's sustainable, maintainable, educational, and enjoyable. So with all of this, one last little note for you. If you are ready to make changes, my beautiful Peach Mastermind is still open for enrollment. I've got a few spots left. It is for women who do not want to be just another number. You get to be seen. And I cannot stress this enough. I am a hands-on coach. You are completely different than any other client that I have. You get to have all the customized information, all the customized, macros and everything to you, okay? So my beautiful Peach Mastermind, BPM, is my high-level group coaching program for women who want to heal their metabolism from diet burnout so they can finally lose weight for good without sacrificing any of the food that you love, without sacrificing the time with your friends and family, without sacrificing your quality of life. You can come into BPM eating a very, very high calorie intake. You may not need a reverse diet. Point is, we want to get you into the space where you have a thriving metabolism and that weight loss, okay? You get to enjoy the vacations. You get to enjoy the holidays. And BPM includes weekly check-ins because I want to make sure that you are learning everything that I'm doing. You learn how to do all the macro adjustments. And also we have those weekly check-ins to make sure that you have basically the accountability and that kind of affirmation that you're going in the right direction, as well as eyes on everything going on every single week to make sure you're progressing in the right direction and not having all of that weight regain, aka you're doing a proper reverse diet, you're properly adjusting macros, you're going through things the right way. So you'll get those macro adjustments every single week. You get Slack accountability, which I am in there quite truly every single day, all the time, okay? And then on top of that, you get a couple different bonuses here because BPM is the creme de la creme of my coaching. You get a mastermind welcome package as soon as you enroll, allowing you to, number one, I actually have two really cool things in there. I've got some spreadsheets that you will send over to me so I can help you get your starting custom macros based on your individual information. And then I have a really cool goal setting worksheet in there so we can actually start to find those top main goals that you have and breaking them down into smaller goals, okay? You get the C-Schmidt macro calculator. You get my reverse diet course. You can have the reverse diet roadmap, which is teaching you exactly when and when not to adjust your macros. You get my reverse diet biofeedback checklist, aka the exact steps that I go through for all of my clients when adjusting macros, looking at their weekly check-ins, and making sure that your body and your metabolism is 110% ready for that adjustment so you're not going haywire with your results and you're actually seeing true fat loss. You get my C-Schmidt macro alcohol tracker. This one, it cracks me up. People get so excited about this one because it's great. All you do is plug in the calories for your alcohol and the calculations pop out exactly what to track for your macros for the alcohol and carbs, fat, or a mix of both. And then also, this is the only place that you can get this. You get access to my Macro and Nutrition Academy course. This is where you're getting the reverse diet course included. So like all of the reverse diet information, as well as learning how to do calorie deficits, learning how to do lean bulks, learning how to transition from every single phase possible, and then going intuitive down the road once you have hit your goals, okay? Macros are the absolute best way to get to where you want to go, and then you can go intuitive. So if you are interested, the details are down below in the show notes. You can also send me a DM on Instagram if you want the BPM sneak peek. Just send me, literally, Instagram is CSCHMIDT.fit. Type that into Instagram. You can actually also type that into your web browser and it will bring you to my website, and then just click coaching and then the Beautiful Peach Mastermind if you want to get to it that way. And it will just send me a message on Instagram and I can send you the BPM sneak peek, which will give you the inside look of everything. And then I'm happy to answer any questions for you. So big news because BPM is finally open again and it has been closed for a long time. So I'm very, very excited. So with all of this, please do not hesitate to ask me any questions. Send me a message, a DM on Instagram. And I am so very excited to support you and to just continue to teach you all my nerdy goodness because I just can't stop nerding out, and it makes me excited when you're a nerd too. So with all of this, I will see you in the next episode. Love and peaches. Bye, my beautiful peach.